when a 70-year-old retired engineer walked into the doctor's urology clinic complaining about waking up to pee 5 times every single night. She knew exactly what was coming next. He wanted surgery. He was convinced his prostate was the villain in this story. And sure, his prostate wasn't perfect, but here's what blew his mind. His real problem was happening at 7 p.m. every evening with a cup of strong tea. The doctor had spent years watching people suffer through exhausting nights and dragging themselves through foggy days, all while being told this is just what happens when you get older. And she's here to tell everyone that's complete garbage. The truth. Most doctors aren't explaining. Here's what's actually happening, according to the doctor. People aren't broken. Their bladders aren't betraying them. Their bodies are doing exactly what they've been trained to do. And the wildest part? They can retrain them with something so stupidly simple that when she tells her patients, they literally laugh at her. 1 glass, 1 specific time. That's it. But before revealing what it is, she paints a picture that many recognize immediately. Falling asleep fine, then 1:30 a.m. hits, and the bladder screams like a fire alarm. Stumbling to the bathroom in the dark, peeing what feels like a thimbleful, crawling back to bed, and now the brain is awake. Thinking about tomorrow's appointment, that thing someone said last week, whether the back door got locked. Finally drifting off, only to do it all over again at 3:45 a.m. The next day? Pure zombie mode. Thoughts moving through mud, snapping at loved ones over nothing, canceling plans because of sheer exhaustion. One of the doctor's patients said something that hit hard. "I don't feel old because of my age. I feel old because I'm exhausted." The accidental night shift. Here's what doctors don't explain well enough, the doctor says. Kidneys are workers, dedicated, tireless workers. And right now, most people have accidentally scheduled them for the night shift. Think about the typical day. Waking up, maybe some coffee, forgetting to drink water all morning because of busyness. Lunch comes with a small glass of something. Then evening hits, and suddenly there's this chugging of water because of the realization that barely anything was consumed all day. Maybe tea after dinner, maybe wine, maybe both. Kidneys don't judge. They don't argue. They just respond. And when someone dumps a ton of liquid into their system between 6 p.m. and bedtime, the kidneys go, "Okay, I guess we're working overtime tonight." Then they filter all that fluid, send it to the bladder stretches, nerve signals fire, and the brain gets the message, "Wake up, we need to empty." The 6 p.m. reset that's going viral. This is where everything changes. The doctor calls it the 6 p.m. reset, drink, and it's absurdly simple. At 6 p.m., a person drinks 1 single, carefully chosen glass of liquid, roughly 8 to 10 ounces, nothing crazy. And here's the key. This is the last structured drink of the day. Not the last drink ever. Not torture. Just the last planned, generous drink. After this, tiny sips only if the mouth feels dry. That's it. What's happening is drawing a line in the sand. The body is being told, daytime hydration zone is closed, nighttime protection zone is now open. What's actually in this so-called magical glass? Ready for the disappointment? It's water. People want some exotic Himalayan herb mixture or a secret smoothie recipe. But here's why plain water works, according to the doctor. It's neutral. It doesn't irritate the bladder. It doesn't stimulate urine production. It doesn't mess with blood sugar. It just hydrates calmly and gets out of the way. Room temperature is best. A slice of cucumber, a thin piece of lemon, or a sprig of mint can be added for flavor, but no sugar, no honey, no artificial sweeteners, and absolutely no caffeine. Alternatives? Fine. A very mild herbal tea like chamomile or rooibos, prepared weekly and without sweetener. That's it. That's the list. What this drink is definitely not. The doctor is crystal clear about what this is not, because this is where people mess it up. It's not coffee, not black tea, not green tea, not yerba mate, not an energy drink, not cola. All of these are what she calls bladder terrorists. They contain caffeine or stimulants that make kidneys work overtime and irritate bladder lining. It's not alcohol. Even just one glass of wine with dinner is problematic. Alcohol makes people drowsy at first, sure, but then it fragments sleep, causes dehydration, and often increases nighttime urine production. It's a trap. It's not fruit juice, not a healthy sweetened tea. Sugar and acid irritate the bladder and create urgency. The bladder doesn't care that the sugar came from organic agave nectar. It's not sparkling water if someone's bladder reacts to carbonation. Some people's bladders hate bubbles. If that's the case, stick to still. The science behind 6 p.m. Why 6 p.m. specifically? Why not 8 p.m. or 9 p.m.? The doctor explains this is where the body's internal clock comes into play. The brain produces a hormone called vasopressin at night. This hormone tells the kidneys, hey, conserve water. Make less urine. We're trying to sleep here. It's why kids can sleep through the night without bathroom trips. As people age, this system gets lazy. But it doesn't disappear completely. It can still respond to patterns. By placing the last big drink at 6 p.m., the body gets 3 to 4 hours before bedtime to process that liquid while still awake and moving around. The kidneys filter it, bathroom trips happen a couple times before bed, and by the time someone actually lies down, the workload is manageable. Then, because only tiny amounts are being sipped after 6 p.m., the kidneys can finally rest at night, like they're supposed to. The benefits that surprised even the doctor. When the doctor's patients start this protocol, the first thing they notice is obvious: fewer bathroom trips. Someone going 4 times a night might drop to 3, then 2. Someone going twice might have their first full night of sleep in years. But here's what shocked her. The second benefit is sleep quality. Every time someone wakes up to pee, their brain has to climb out of deep sleep, orient itself, deal with the bathroom trip, then try to sink back down. That up and down pattern destroys the deep sleep phases, where the brain processes memories, clears out metabolic waste, and restores emotional balance. When nighttime interruptions decrease, people report fewer morning headaches, less brain fog, more stable moods. They stop snapping at their families. They can focus when reading. They actually want to do things instead of just surviving the day. Third benefit: cardiovascular stability. Many older adults are on blood pressure medications, including diuretics that increase urination. If these are combined with heavy evening drinking, the heart and blood vessels are riding a roller coaster all night when they should be coasting smoothly. The 6 p.m. ritual helps create a calmer night for the entire circulatory system. Fourth, bladder urgency signals get retrained. A bladder that's constantly being emptied when it's not very full becomes dramatic. It sends alarm signals early, at small volumes. Over time, this makes people feel like they have a weak bladder, when actually the bladder is just following the habits that have been set. With less fluid arriving at night, the bladder stays calmer, fills more slowly, and those panic signals quiet down. Real people getting real results. Thomas, the engineer mentioned earlier, was experiencing 5 bathroom trips every night. He was drinking barely anything before noon, a little at lunch, then chugging water and strong tea all evening to catch up. The doctor restructured everything. Glass with breakfast, glass mid-morning, glass with lunch, glass mid-afternoon, then the 6 p.m. reset drink. After that, only sips if needed. They also swapped his evening tea for a mild herbal infusion earlier in the day. 6 weeks later, he was down to 2 or 3 trips, sometimes only 2. His prostate measurements hadn't magically changed. but his kidneys weren't drowning at midnight anymore. Then there's Linda, 66, a grandmother terrified of falling in the dark because she'd already stumbled once. She was sipping fruit juice all evening while watching TV, then finishing with wine. The 6 p.m. drink became her evening anchor. 1 glass of water with cucumber. After that, a small herbal tea finished by 7 p.m., then only sips. Within a month, fewer urgent wake-ups, less volume when she did go. She added a hallway nightlight, and her confidence came roaring back. She told the doctor something unforgettable. "I thought my bladder was my enemy. I didn't realize my habits were confusing it." That's what's happening to most people. The couple who transformed their ritual, David and Sarah, both in their early 70s, were waking up multiple times each night and disturbing each other. Their shared evening ritual? A pot of black tea at 8 p.m. They called it our time together. The doctor said, "Great, keep your ritual, just transform it." Their new shared ritual became the 6 p.m. reset drink. Every evening at 6, they'd fill 2 glasses with still water and lemon, sit down together for 5 minutes, no TV, no phones, and talk about their day. Then they kept everything else light and caffeine-free. The follow-up appointment was emotional. Not only were they sleeping better, but they felt more connected. They'd created a ceremony that honored their health and their partnership. Sometimes the biggest change isn't just physical relief. It's feeling like there's active participation in well-being instead of just accepting defeat. The critical warnings. Nobody wants to hear. The doctor is clear. This doesn't work for literally everyone in every situation. If someone has heart failure, chronic kidney disease, uncontrolled diabetes, or they're on strict fluid restrictions from their doctor, they cannot just implement this without medical consultation first. Also, if there's blood in urine, burning pain when peeing, an extremely weak stream, sudden leg swelling, severe shortness of breath when lying flat, or intense, unexplained thirst, medical attention is needed immediately. This drink strategy helps with patterns. It does not cure diseases. How to actually start without screwing it up. First, the doctor recommends observing for 2 to 3 days without changing anything. Write down what gets consumed, how much, and when. Most people are absolutely shocked when they see it on paper. Second, decide on a bedtime, then set the reset time 3 to 4 hours before that. If bedtime is 10 p.m., the reset is 6 p.m. If bedtime is 11 p.m., the reset is 7 p.m. Adjust as needed. Third, shift more fluids into morning and early afternoon. Glass with each meal, 1 or 2 between meals. Simple. Fourth, when the clock hits reset time, prepare the drink. Pour it. Sit down. Take a breath. Drink it slowly over 5 to 10 minutes. Use that moment as a mental signal. Main hydration is done. Fifth, after this drink, water isn't forbidden, but make it modest. Tiny sips for dry mouth or after brushing teeth. That's it. Finally, give it time. Aim for 3 to 4 weeks minimum before judging results. Bodies learn through repetition, not overnight miracles. The most common questions. What if there's intense thirst in the evening because not enough was consumed earlier? According to the doctor, that's a red flag that the first part of the day needs work. Don't fight thirst. Prevent it from building by drinking more in the morning and afternoon. Gradually shift things until the evening craving fades. Can social drinks still happen occasionally? The more sensitive the bladder, the more benefit comes from keeping evening drinks rare and small. But if the pattern occasionally breaks, having the 6 p.m. ritual most days will still move things in the right direction. Progress, not perfection. The one sentence that changes everything. The doctor puts it simply. When people drink the right thing at the right time, they stop fighting their bodies at night and start working with them. Kidneys, bladders, hearts, and brains all respond to rhythm. People aren't at the mercy of age alone. That rhythm can be shaped with small, consistent choices that respect biology instead of ignoring it. It's not too late for anyone. The doctor emphasizes this point. It is not too late to reclaim peaceful nights. Even after years of waking up multiple times, bodies still have the capacity to adapt. Mature years can be a season of wiser habits, calmer routines, and a completely different relationship with health. A simple glass of water at 6 p.m., chosen mindfully and followed by lighter intake afterward, can become a symbol of that new relationship. A daily reminder that well-being is worth a little bit of planning and care. The invitation is simple. Look at tonight's evening routine and ask, what is being taught to the body with drinking patterns? If the 6 p.m. reset drink gets tried, attention should be paid to how things feel over the coming weeks. Track it. Notice the changes. And if someone who's always complaining about waking up at night comes to mind, send this to them. One person's story might be the thing that convinces someone else that better nights are still possible. Because they absolutely are.